The adventure genre has been in a constant state of resurgence over the years. The moment you think the industry has moved on, Nintendo remakes Famicom Detective Club and suddenly we're back in it. Vague as the feeling can be, I'm usually in the mood for a good mystery, and developer Armonica clearly leans into inspirations with their new game Detective Instinct, Farewell My Beloved. It has all the systems and pixel hunting you'd expect from the genre, but its strongest trait is how it lays a foundation for what this indie series could become. This is what it looks like when a small team works within their ambition and focuses on teaching players the rules of their world. That approach leads into a few hand-holding moments, but there's so much here worth talking about. Detective Instinct Farewell My Beloved opens with you being abruptly awoken by banging on your hotel door. A cop then kicks it in, seconds later, ready to arrest you for murder. This is where you're prompted to choose your name, but I'm not convinced that this game actually needed that. The protagonist has enough personality baked in, and with the limited scenes that actually show them, the first-person framing gives the impression that the player is meant to step fully into their shoes. Although I never actually felt that connection. Even so, the writing carries the scenes with a charming tone that sets expectations for what follows. Also, before I get too far ahead of myself, that cop was supposed to be on the 5th floor, not the 1st, so his grand entrance into the wrong room does a decent job of easing you into the story's humor. From here, you learn you're visiting the region of Vendreka, alongside your teacher, Mr. Martin, and your tutor, Emma, although it's quickly explained that Emma is only a year older than you. But I digress, they're all traveling together on a study abroad trip. Now, I need to mention that this fictional place gets more exposition than some characters do, but it definitely works. You get a sense of its history and its conflict with its neighbor Ganbrika without drowning in lore. The game then folds us into dialogue with care, giving enough context to understand why this region matters to the mystery without overwhelming you. Shortly after, you meet Daltrey, a clumsy but endearing detective who manages to spill more information than you even asked for. It's here that he gives you the rundown of the murder case and somehow decides that you and Emma are qualified to investigate the crime scene alongside him. The early chapters introduce systems at a slow, manageable pace. After the opening, you wake up on a train where Emma presents a new mystery to you. You see, she insists that she spoke to a woman earlier that day and promised to meet her later on. Not only does the woman fail to show up though, but no one else on the train remembers her at all. Emma is convinced, though, that she's real, so you now have 3 days to figure out who she was and why she disappeared. This smaller case gradually unravels into something much bigger, but I appreciated how grounded it felt at first. The train setting creates a tight loop of locations and characters, and new areas open up only when they're relevant. The pacing across these chapters feels deliberate. I get the sense that the developers knew that they were making a niche adventure game, so they trimmed away anything that might frustrate players or interrupt the flow. One of the standout features here is the quality of life system built around the think and discuss options. Anytime you need direction, selecting these options will likely nudge you towards your next step without totally spelling it out. The feature also functions in a way to deepen conversations. You might learn something from a character, then turn and talk it over with Emma to interpret the information. It all feels seamless and helps maintain the sense that you're actively unraveling the mystery instead of stumbling through it. As the chapters progress, new mechanics appear in a natural way, from inspecting items to interacting with environments. The steady rollout preserves any sense of being overwhelmed as well. You still get that satisfaction of answering questions correctly and piecing together clues, even though the game isn't really that difficult. You see, this isn't actually a challenge-heavy adventure, and it doesn't pretend otherwise, but its twists are sharp enough to catch you off guard. The entire experience brought me back to a kind of nostalgia that I didn't expect. It reminded me of why these compact mysteries stick with people so long after you beat them. A big part of the charm comes from the character designs and general tone. Every person on this train feels like they belong in their own bizarre side story. You bounce between eccentric golfers, unsettling bartenders, and aristocrats who could be hiding something behind their actions. The casts work because none of them blur together. They all feel distinct, and their personalities fuel the momentum for the mystery. The soundtrack also does its job matching the mood more often than not. There are a couple moments where the music feels slightly mismatched, but it was rare enough that it didn't distract from the experience. Lastly, one system that I found the most detailed in was the notes, which are filled out as you obtain new information. This area of the menu really just houses everything you need to know, and so if you stepped away from the game for a few days, which I honestly don't know how you could easily use these notes to refresh your memory. Still, it doesn't have the best visual design, and the unfilterable topics do look kind of messy by the end of the game, but it's still a great system. Strangely, also, the auto text option is only available in the settings menu, and you aren't able to turn it on and off from a shortcut in the dialogue scenes. These are just minor pain points though of an otherwise must-play adventure. Detective Instinct Farewell My Beloved left me with a sense that developer Armonica understands exactly what kind of game they're making. It's approachable without being shallow, charming without being cloying, and confident without overreaching. As much as it teaches players the rules of its world, it also shows the potential of the series going forward. The mystery lands, the characters make an impression, and the pacing keeps the whole ride enjoyable. If this is the first step for this team, I'm more than ready to see where the next case takes us. Noisy Pixel is giving Detective Instinct Farewell My Beloved a 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth, and subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.